Hello, my gorgeous people. My name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these are your weekly horoscope tarot card readings, and they are in between the 12th and the 18th of July 2021. So this weekly horoscope tarot card focus is in between the 12th and the 18th of July 2021, and I am going to start with my gorgeous and with my ever so precious Aries. My gorgeous Aries. Now, you know what? It's just going to be really important for you to understand, because you're about to see something. You're about to recognize something. So it's more about you seeing something and then connecting to it so much on a very high level indeed, which is most certainly going to actually evolve in you, recognizing something really, really, really important when it comes to your life. And so many different on so many different levels I am talking about indeed, not only when it comes to like the financial security, like a future planning and doing the right thing, you know, but then at the same time it's about the actual a very powerful emotional moment, you know, which is just going to help you so much to connect and reconnect with yourself on a very, very high level. In fact, this level of spirituality you didn't feel in a really long time, and I'm going back to, let's say, the past 36 to 48 months, you did not feel such a powerful wave of your own energy, which is most certainly going to increase your vibration, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. And that in itself is just going to make a huge, massive impact when it comes to your life, because something is just literally going to come to you. Let me just make this like really as important as it is, because it's just about you recognizing an important part of your life that you will at the same time gonna be so connected to, and that in itself is just gonna bring all sorts of feelings and all sorts of emotions when it comes to you. But also you will be able to detach yourself at the same time by following your own intuition, by doing what you want to do, by evolving in the way you want to evolve, my gorgeous Aries. This is important to pay attention to your third psychic eye, because it's gonna be staring this week indeed, staring very, very far, staring very, very deep, and it's gonna be very important time of your life, because not only you will know exactly what the right thing is to do, this is pretty much so to do with you making the certain life-changing, realizing things that make you happy, that are making you happy and that are making you unhappy. But above all, a very, very dark cloud is actually at the same time going to be shifted. And this is why I like this so much, my gorgeous Aries. And this is why I think that it's so important, because you are going to detach yourself from the part of your life that is no longer serving you, that it's no longer good for you, that it's now in time for you to realize that you should move on from it indeed. So the part of your life that became very domineering in many different ways, very domineering indeed, but not in a positive way, like in a negative way, and it was draining your energy. And now you are going to have a very powerful sign, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. And that particular sign that you are going to have, you know, and you can expect this within the first few days this week, and I like it. And this particular sign that you're going to have is just gonna start with a certain information that you're gonna have, which is to you gonna feel like a huge, a massive, and almost a reward. So first of all, you're gonna feel like a really powerful reward, because this is to do with things that you have been doing in your past. And you know, it's, if that happened, that situation took place, and if it happened like only like about a few weeks earlier because time wasn't right, you wouldn't be able to feel it in the way you're gonna feel now. And that's why this is so important, because it's not only about the sign that you're going to have it around the time when you become aware of the certain reward, and it's like an accomplishment from the past. And this in itself, you know, it's all about the self-satisfaction that you're going to feel and have at the same time. But also what I would like to stress is that this is at around the time when you're going to have a very, very particular and very specific sign. And that sign is going to basically let you know. That sign is going to kind of like make sense to you, like there is no tomorrow. This is going to be very important and very personal. But most certainly you are going to kind of like start evolving from that moment onwards. Because by the time you get to the actual last part of the week, my gorgeous Aries, you know, it's all about this powerful opportunity that you are going to have. It's all about this whole new meaning that the life is going to bring you. So it's all boiling down to one specific moment where you realize an important path unfolding right in front of you, my gorgeous Aries. By the same time, you need to give a credit to yourself, and you are going to have a tricky situation where you're going to kind of feel very much so connected to follow the specific path when it comes to your life. By the same time, the tricky situation is going to arise and maybe make you think like kind of negative, you know, and that in itself is just gonna a little bit kind of like slow you down. So this is something that you simply must ignore, my gorgeous Aries. So this is what I'm talking about. You need to follow your heart, because this is to do with your own path, your own spiritual journey, and ignore any negativity, ignore any sadness, or ignore any darkness or anything like that, because you are going to feel like kind of sensitive and rather emotional throughout this week. So you just must not let this energy to kind of like a drain out of you in a kind of like a negative way where you don't kind of get so much out of it. And I mean, like sometimes, you know, when we feel like a lot of psychic energy around us, you know, we are able to pick up on so many things indeed. But at the same time, that same energy kind of like drain us out a little bit. So you kind of like, it does take a little bit out of you. So this is the specific situation that I want you to understand, that anything that comes to you in a form of, I want to brush up on this, I want to do this, I want to learn about this, you should just most certainly go for it, my gorgeous Aries. This is very, very important indeed. You know, and a certain advice, you are going to get hold of this advice as well, which is just going to be kind of like a very significant within the last 3 days this week. You need to pay attention to this particular advice that you are going to have, and it's going to be very smart, because you're going to be able to see beyond the mask. You're going to be able to see beyond the big mustache, and I'm obviously I'm talking about the symbolical spiritual terms. So when it comes to like a big mustache, that means that, you know, you're going to become aware of the certain maybe person that wasn't saying the truth, you know, and that is just also going to be very beneficial, because at the same time is that advice that you are going to gain, this very kind of life-changing advice indeed, and there are very two specific things that are going to be pointed out to you, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. So I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card for this week. King of Cups. I mean, ooh la la, you see this? You are gonna really be inspired this week, but one specific person is indeed going to play an important role. Somebody is going to inspire you, my gorgeous Aries, and this is very, very important, because somebody is going to have such a powerful and positive impact and influence on you without you even realizing. So this is something very, very important, because your energies are kind of like very similar. Your energies are going to be very similar at that moment in time, and that particular person is just going to play an important role and inspire you so nicely, because you will know exactly what to do. At the same time, when it comes to like a very kind of interesting confirmation, because one particular person, very powerful person in your eyes, this is very personal to you, this is a very powerful person in your eyes, whom you're just going to be kind of thinking about, and then suddenly you're just basically going to know exactly, like kind of like you're going to have a very, very powerful confirmation. You see, this is all about the powerful confirmation and doing the right thing. You know, there is going to be a certain compromise that you're going to become aware of, but at the same time, there are other things that you're going to become aware of that you weren't aware of before. So you are going to learn something very important, you know, about yourself and about your specific journey, and this is going to play an enormous role, because on one hand, you're going to need to realize that you need to be patient, but then on another hand, it's all about you taking the next step, trusting yourself and following your own intuition, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. And your oracle card as well is basically, no, this is not definitely the one, this is the advert. I forgot to take it out. So now your oracle card, my gorgeous Erini, is just a kind of spirits. You see this is remarkable. You also, you know, there are two very special messages in particular for you here, because, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, it's the inspiration. It's still about this particular inspiration by somebody. But then again, on another hand, you know, so one message here, it's the inspiration by someone very special in your life, literally. But then on another hand, you know, you can expect a very unusual sign from the spirit world as well this week. And the sign from the spirit world that you're gonna have, it's gonna happen at exactly the same time when you are paying attention in your mind to something very specific. So this spirit is going to confirm this to you, and you are most certainly gonna be aware of this, and you will see exactly what I mean. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurus, my gorgeous Taurinis. Do you know what's going to happen? Like the return of something very interesting. It's going to take place in your life, and I really like it. And it only happens once you reach that moment in life, when you reach this very, very special moment when it comes to reaching the full circle. What I want to say here to you, my gorgeous Taurini, is that there is going to be the actual, you know, very much so the return of the opportunity. At some moment in time over the last 24 months, there was this particular opportunity that you had. There was this particular opportunity that you wanted to kind of like, you were paying attention to, you wanted to do this, you wanted to go, and you wanted to take this certain path, for example. And so this is what I'm talking about. It's pretty much so about a missed opportunity, which is about to return into your life, my gorgeous Taurinis. And that in itself created so much negativity and so much, maybe like a kind of like, I wouldn't say like a sadness or darkness, but yes, pretty much so this affected you. So this is brilliant because it caused so much contemplation when it comes to your life. It caused so much doubting because you just went like slightly off your own path, slightly off your own journey. Not because you did something wrong, not because you did something negative, but it's purely because there were lots of other like influences and impacts from the outside, you know, that kind of tempered with your own energy, and that in return just kind of made you stumble a little bit on your own path, on your own journey. So, you know, when this is so important, like for example, when we do have an opportunity that is just so important to our life, that we should do, that we should become a part of, you know, that opportunity is just going to be keep on coming back, keep on coming back, and keep on coming back until we realize that this is something we simply have to do, something we simply must do, because it's an integral, important, powerful, strong, enlightening part of our own journey. So this is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous Taurini. So this is why this is so important. So it's really worth to pay attention to like what kind of opportunity it was missed in your life, and what kind of opportunity it's about to bounce back, come back into your life, which is most certainly going to be playing an important role. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up in this reading. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up with these cards. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up right now, because this is something that you should learn, something that you should become aware of, and something that you should pay attention to, because it's going to at the same time open your eyes, and you're going to become aware of something really bizarre and really strange, but most certainly it's going to be very beneficial for you when it comes to like a part of your life where, you know, you find yourself like a quite out of balance, purely because it was quite a lot was disorganized, you see. And this is also what it happens when we kind of just go off our path just slightly. Please don't get me wrong, it's like, oh my god, you went off your path. No, baby, no. Lots of other people do this, lots of our signs do this, you know. What is the most important thing here is that this is an integral part of your spiritual journey, and you may not even be aware of it as such, my gorgeous Taurinis, but you will see suddenly you're just gonna find yourself this week facing the certain situation, facing the certain realization, facing the certain path, you know. You're already gonna be halfway then. This in itself, it's going to let you know that it's something that you should pay attention to, and it's to do with the missed opportunity. This is very, very important, and you may not even realize how significant this is until this actually take place, because this, it's going to be superb when it comes to your home, when it comes to the actual happiness, joy, pleasure, excitement, but also when it comes to like the time of your own peace and the time of your healing as well, because this, by the time you get to the actual last part of the week, is just going to get you going. It's going to open your eyes, my gorgeous Taurinis, and it's going to get you going, you know. It's going to make you feel very much so confident, and very kind of like it's going to brush up on your own self-esteem when it comes to the certain parts of your life that you weren't kind of too sure. So now this is going to give you even more power, even more vavumish feeling, you know, in order to like kind of like just follow your own path, you know, follow your own light. Your own light is not going to let you astray. You have got a ridiculous power when it comes to your own wisdom within, so you must not ignore it, you know. And you will also have a reminder that, you know, not that long ago you were ignoring a little bit your own voice within, your own wisdom within. But then again, this is a sacred wisdom, because we are the universe, we are the part of the universe, we are the spirits, we are the angels, you know. We are very, very powerful beings, but sometimes we don't understand this, and we don't realize this if we don't open ourselves enough. So this is going to be the time of your opening, my gorgeous Taurinis, but at the same time the new portal, it's about to open for you as well within the last couple of days this week. And what does that mean, that the new portal is going to open? It means that basically you are going to have a really kind of beautiful experience, very spiritual experience within the last 2 days this week. And that spiritual experience is going to have an enlightening impact on you. And it's also like kind of going to play an important role when it comes to making a really big, a massive, enormous decision when it comes to your home and things like that. You know, it's just about you doing your own thing and realizing that there is a very beautiful and important power within that you should follow, that it's more powerful than absolutely anything. Nobody understands yourself like you understand yourself, my gorgeous Taurinis. You are very kind of powerful when it comes to your inner wisdom anyway, because your intuition is kind of very highlighted when it comes to your own sign. So all these things are gonna kind of are going to be making very big, very huge impact when it comes to you. And also, you know, it's just like about a certain support, and this is going to mean to you so much. Some kind of like information you are going to get, very important message, and you will be supported in a certain way, and this is going to mean to you so much, because at the same time it's just something that, you know, it was kind of like it was a part of your life that you've just kind of left behind. So now again, this is also kind of going to be the relevant part of your own kind of stepping into the unknown type of thing, but also at the same time feeling so much strength and power in order to actually kind of like move on with your life. I really like it, and I like what this week is going to bring when it comes to the last 2 days. You just really, you really need to pay attention, you know, like my cards, tarot cards just literally jumped, my gorgeous Taurinis. So that means that, you know, you're also, I'm feeling this, that, you know, something is going to surprise you. You are in for a surprise this week. And the surprise is going to be like really weird and really bizarre, and it's just something that you kind of expected, but it's just, instead of on the level 7, it's going to be like a level 2599, you know, something is going to surprise you, and it's going to throw you out of balance as well this week, my gorgeous Taurini. But then again, at the same time, it's going to open your eyes even more, and it's just all about this confirmation that at the same time, it's not only about, oh yeah, this was confirmed to me, no baby, no, but it's at the same time, it's like the actual opportunity that is gonna come through with unlimited possibilities that you should pay attention to, because it's going to provide you the way out of so many negative situations that became ludicrous in your life, in particular when you find yourself being stuck in the moment and not being kind of like able to kind of make certain decisions when it comes to your future and when it comes to your future planning. So this is all going to be kind of reflected to that, a reflection of that. So now, my gorgeous Taurinis, do you know what? one more thing I was going to say, my gorgeous Tauruses, before I actually take these tarot cards. One more thing that I was going to say, my gorgeous Tauruses, it's actually going to be that you are gonna get like some kind of a message that it's gonna mean to you as well so much this week from somebody who you really wanted to connect with, and somebody who you wanted to reconnect with, and somebody who means to you so much, whether this is going to be the family member or whether this is going to be like a really good friend of yours. You know, it really depends, but this is really going to put a big smile on your face as well, because that person is going to let you know, you're going to become aware of some kind of reconnection, and this will mean to you so much. Bless your heart. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card as well. You see this is so important. This is the week when you're just going to start coming out of yourself, and I really like it. It's about the inspiration. It's about somebody very important, like who's going to actually be playing a quite significant role in your life, my gorgeous Tauruses. But then again, at the same time, you know, it's just about you being very kind of like brave and trusting yourself, because this particular person is going to play an important role in your life, because it's somebody who you look up into so many different ways, but you're not going to be told something by this person in particular directly, but it's just that you're going to kind of, it's just going to mingle with your own energy, it's going to mingle with your own vibration, it's going to mingle with your own energy in general, and that is just going to kind of come into your own dimension. So you are going to kind of like come across this person in your mind who you really look up to, and then suddenly you will know that it's time to come out of yourself. This is all about you coming out of yourself, doing the right thing, and being very sharp and very quick and very powerful when it comes to reflecting to those things in your life that you know that you should be doing, that you know that you should be following, you know. So this is the time to listen to yourself, because there are two specific things that are going to come to the surface, my gorgeous Tauruses, indeed, and this is going to help you so much to come out of yourself and feel that great happiness again. I'm not saying that you didn't feel a great happiness before, that you were sad or miserable or anything like that, but you will see exactly what I mean, because there is a lot that it's going to make sense that didn't make sense before. And also I'm seeing that somebody is just going to kind of like really try to like kind of wind you up this week. Somebody's going to like kind of like maybe going to challenge you a little bit this week. And please, I know it's easy for me to say, but do not waste your energy, because it's just not important. I think that person is having some kind of difficulties. They're going through something very difficult in their life, so it's just the time to kind of like really kind of be as gentle as gentle as possible. And this is also going to be connected to your karmic reward later on. I'm not saying this just because you can get karmic reward, but I'm just saying that this is going to be the best response, because it's just not something that you should really drain your energy about whatsoever. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Gemini. My gorgeous Gemini, I love you so much. You know what? It's like basically, you know, this week is pretty much so going to present you with such a powerful moment from the beginning of this week indeed. What were you indecisive about over the last 2 months? Something that was really kind of driving you nuts, you know, something that was really kind of like preventing you to move on, something that was affecting you on so many levels. And sometimes we are affected by things in life, especially you, my gorgeous Geminis, because you're very deep, you're very spiritual, you're very sensitive in so many different ways. But then on another hand, you know, your third psychic eye is wide open, so you can absorb so much more. But that in return can kind of make you worry sometimes. So you were worrying about something so much over the last couple of months, and it made you very, very indecisive. So right now, I know that you are actually going to realize that this is really entirely needs to come from you. This is very kind of personal, and it's most certainly needs to come from you, because I can see a bit of like a free spirit at the same time. So you are going to have a very powerful moment, which is going to come from the deep deepest levels of your own spirituality, and you are going to make a very, very powerful decision. And that decision is just literally going to come out of you. And what is really important in this, that you are actually going to become aware of something, you're going to see something, you're going to become aware of the certain information, and once you become aware of that certain information, there is a lot that is actually going to change. But this is brilliant because it's going to motivate you towards doing the right thing. And at the same time, as I said, this is just pretty much so going to have an impact on your own free spirit, but also, it is just basically, you will realize almost immediately that that is just something that affected you so much when it comes to having a lack of direction, lack of direction indeed. And this is what was happening with you, my gorgeous Gemini, over the last couple of months in particular. It was very strong feeling, something made a very big impact on your life, and this in itself, it's to do with this particular indecisiveness, crossroads, I'm not too sure, and this made you having kind of a being stuck in the moment and having a lack of direction indeed. So of course that this affected you, my gorgeous Gemini. So it's all about the actual lack of direction that you are going to actually lack of direction. This is a big one, this is a huge one, because when you find yourself having a lack of direction, that you are stuck in the moment, the fog is kind of a little bit thicker. What I mean? I mentioned it earlier, I mentioned it before. The fog is a little bit thicker, and then you can't see behind, you can't see in front, you can't see on the left, you can't see on the right, and you're just kind of stuck in the moment because you don't like moving towards the direction that is just a little bit foggish, you see. So this is the time when the fog is about to start picking up and start clearing, but this is just the beginning. But most certainly this is going to evolve, this is going to reflect also on your home, it's going to reflect on your financial situation, it's going in a good way, it's going to reflect on a future planning, but also the realization that something big, enormous, huge, it's actually going to take place later on out of this. But this is just the beginning, because later on, what's going on this week, it's going to have a massive, huge, enormous impact when it comes to you kind of doing something huge later on in your life. And when I say later on, I don't mean in 20 years, I just mean in about few months to come. You will see by the time you get to the actual December 2021, you will already know which big, huge, massive part of this it's going to be relevant to what I'm talking about, because it's going to start the process of huge, massive change, and you wanting to move on, but this is so much so to do it's very much so to do with your own home. And it's going to be very much so reflection on your own home and things like that. On another hand, very powerful information. You will have news about the actual success and gain. But this is going to come from overcoming an obstacle and challenge over the last 7 months. It's brilliant because it's just pretty much so to do with you coming on top of things. And it's not only that, you're going to find yourself being much further up where you actually originally thought that you're going to have. So this is going to lead towards the actual massive victory. And also, on another hand, very powerful negotiation. You are going to have an important negotiation for you this week, and this is going to be brilliant because it's going to work out so good for you. And if you do want to have a negotiation, any kind of if you do want to have a negotiation, any kind of negotiation, most certainly if you do it this week, it's going to be very successful for you, my gorgeous Gemini. Very successful for you, my gorgeous Gemini, indeed. So I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card. My gorgeous Gemini, the Emperor. You see, I really like this. It's about the revelation, it's about the realization, it's about the hidden thoughts, it's about the hidden feelings that are going to come to the surface. It's about you realizing your own power. It's about you feeling all this inspiration this week. But how is this going to happen? Well, somebody is going to play an important role, my gorgeous Gemini. This is very important to say, that somebody is going going to play an important role, because now again I'm seeing the spiritual mustache, and the spiritual mustache the spiritual mustache means that in spiritual terms, you know, this is very symbolical, because you are going to become aware of the certain lies, you're going to become aware of the certain person not saying the truth, not being honest, and this is somebody who is just playing an important role when it comes to your life. So this is something that you should be paying attention to, but it's actually really brilliant. This is going to be so good for you, because through this person you're going to recognize your own power, you're going to recognize your own strength, and motivation is going to be absolutely remarkable. So somebody kind of like, it's going to influence you, impact you in a negative way, but it's going to work so perfectly for you, because it is just going to pinpoint towards something very specific about yourself. It's going to be highlighted what you should do, and there's such a huge, massive continuation of something. You're going to realize that you need to put a bit more energy towards something very specific, but it's to do with your path, it's to do with what you are doing, it's to do with what you are trying to achieve, it's to do with what you are trying to become. You know, it's like all these things together, but also it's to do with what you do in life, how do you like to express yourself. We are all special, we are all powerful spirits, you know, we are all part of the universe. So there is so much about us that is the same, but it's also at the same time so much that is actually different. So this is a very powerful moment that you're actually going to have. And on another hand, you see, an oracle card is to have faith. My gorgeous Gemini. So this is your oracle card. Just remember that you are going to have a bit of a testy moment, you know. Somebody's just going to kind of like not somebody, but it's going to be the situation where you're going to find quite challenging, and you just need to understand to be yourself, to follow your own intuition, you know, and to have faith. Because, you know, after the stormy weather, there is going to be the gorgeous sunshine. So this is something that I'm talking about. But before that happens, we always have that little split in the middle that is just going to make you aware that, you know, it needs to get worse in order to get better type of thing. So just remember to have faith. Okay, very important. So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Cancerini. My gorgeous Cancerini, like, ooh la la. Do you know, I really like this, because it's just basically like you are the certain problem, you know. Sorry, there is the conclusion that you are going to have to an annoying problem, very heavy and very difficult problem, and that particular problem caused you so much like kind of uncertainty. It slowed you down, it kind of made you feel very negative, made you feel really low, and it kind of like also caused like a lots of like a lack of direction when it comes to you, my gorgeous Cancerini. And you don't like when you don't like when you have a lack of direction, because that in itself is draining your energy, because you just like keep going, you just like keep moving. You're very smart, you're very clever, and very quickly you can make the right decisions. And this is what this is actually going to happen, because within the first couple of days you are going to make a really important decision, and this is to do with your own future planning, but it's to do with like a kind of like your life, it's to do with like your finances, it's to do doing the right thing, but also recognizing an opportunity that you were aware of before, but also at the same time recognizing so many unlimited possibilities around that opportunity that you didn't recognize before. And this is going to refresh you, my babies. This is going to re-energize you. This is going to make you feel so much better. This is going to open your eyes. This is going to increase your vibration. It's brilliant, my gorgeous Cancerini. But at the same time, you know, this is for the first couple of days, but at the same time, what else is going to happen this week is the actual message. You're going to get an important message about this annoying problem coming to an end, and it's all about the actual conclusion. Very successful and a very powerful conclusion, because this, my lord, caused you so much of the actual emotional confusion, and it made you feel kind of like not like you had a materialistic materialistic trouble, but you just have found yourself like on the certain crossroads because you weren't too sure what to do. So not necessarily that you had materialistic troubles, but I think that there was a lot of worry around this particular area in your life, and that in itself all contributed towards this emotional confusion that I'm talking about, but also it caused so much disharmony in your life that like, oh my God, my Lord, like you have no idea. So this is why this is so important, because you're just going to feel like you want to celebrate, you will feel like you want to connect, you will feel like you want to reconnect. So it's all about this important message that you're going to have about this conclusion, and this is almost immediately. So the problem, very annoying problem, is going to come to an end, and it's going to bring the actual conclusion way out of the situation, and this is going to make you feel so good, and you're going to realize the importance of this, you know, is the certain path that you need to take, but at the same time your eyes are going to be wide open. You will know exactly what to go for, but also you will know exactly what to avoid. But at the same time you're going to become aware of an important and integral part of your life which is about to continue, and this is something that is going to be like a big mama when it comes to your life, my gorgeous Cancerini, because it's just going to like kind of give you a time to chill out. It's going to give you time to relax, you know. It's going to kind of bring you healing, very, very healing energy, healing power. This is important because it's going to cover so many other things in your life as well. It's going to increase your self-esteem, it's going to increase your energy, it's going to increase your confidence, it's going to increase your self-awareness. I really, really like it indeed. But also it's going to make you feel quite artistic, and when you're kind of responding to your own artistic kind of feelings in such a powerful, like at such a powerful time like this week, most certainly you should reflect on it as much as you can, because it's going to inspire you in order to change things around a little bit, maybe to get some kind of like spiritual figurine or something, you know. It's just gonna, you should just follow these things when you have waves of this wonderful energy, because there is so much more to it than it just meets the eye, you know. So much more to it when we follow our own energy, you know, especially at a time when it's increased, like at this moment in time, my gorgeous Cancerini. So this is important. And also, do you know what else I was going to say, that it's just like artistic, sorry, I said that didn't I? Sorry. Yeah, but what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Cancerini, is that actually something is going to be on your mind, you know, some kind of opportunity. It's not like huge, it's not massive, but it's just pretty much so going to be what the next step is going to be, you know. What should I do? What should I add up into my life? Which path I should take? Which path I should go for, you know? And you should just basically remember that, you know, it's whatever comes to you, it's going to be way bigger later on than what you possibly think. So it's not something brand new, it's not something out of the blue, but it's just basically what you're doing right now. There is a very kind of important aspect that it's missing, but it's going to be so much more important than you could possibly imagine, because later on, 7, 8, 9, 10, at around the mid-October, this is going to bring you like, oh my God, like fantastic moment to kind of like really kind of have a party, really, to celebrate. So another celebration, you know, like an important celebration in October. And this is why I want you to understand that it's going to kind of come up as just something an additional that you should add up to your life and do, but it's just going to seem like really tiny, but it's going to turn into something really, really massive. And also, you know, very powerful moment of you standing on your own legs, you know. You will put your foot down in such a way where you will just kind of want to make decisions for yourself. You will kind of enjoy this, you know, and this is the powerful time to most certainly follow your own intuition, because it's almost like some kind of codependency, like some kind of codependency that is slowly coming to an end. This is going to be so personal to you, but so meaningful and so important, because it's going to inspire you on so many different levels indeed. Okay, so gosh, so now my gorgeous Cancerini, I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card. Okay, this is important, my gorgeous Cancerini. Now, King of Swords. Now, this is like, oh my Lord, you see this? This is so powerful because, you know, it is on one hand about a very, very sharp energy that you are going to have. But then on another hand, it's about you feeling, you know, it's the right time for this particular continuation. You know, it's just kind of brought so much of the actual confusion, and it slowed you down in so many different ways. But also what I want you to understand, this King of Swords here, you see, it is just an important person, one specific person. It's about to motivate you and it's about to inspire you without you even realizing this. You are probably going to just look at someone, or you're just going to listen to someone, or you're going to hear someone, but then suddenly something is going to come to you, and the things that didn't make sense, they're going to start making sense, and this is going to do a bit of shaky moment, but in the best possible way. So I really like this. So an inspiration from this particular person is just gonna kind of, my Lord, it's gonna open your eyes, because this is somebody who's meant to be the part of your spiritual journey. This is somebody who's an integral part of your spiritual journey, and it's going to help you to see things for what they are. It's going to open your eyes, but also there's so many other things that you're going to become aware of, one thing after another, my Lord. And also it's going to help you on so many different levels, you know, to express yourself, to feel the happiness, you know, to feel the excitement, you know, to feel the power within that you didn't feel in a long time. But also when it comes to like things that were kind of self-imposed in your life that prevent you to move on, you will become aware of your own strengths, and you will know that there are things that you can do, you know, that you should do. And this is powerful, my gorgeous Cancerini, indeed. Okay, and also on another hand, you see this, it's just basically the harmony, the vibration. This oracle card is just letting me know beautifully the vibration is going to be so powerful, you know, and it's all about this awakening, you know, your own awakening when it comes to your own perspective, and the importance of following your own path as well, and importance to listen to your dreams, and important to pay attention to what is the first thing on your mind every single morning, you know. The energy is going to be very vibrant and harmonious throughout this week. So most certainly pay attention to the actual signs, and pay attention to the actual synchronicities. And most certainly the biggest impact when it comes to synchronicity is 777. If you see the number 777 repeating, look, have faith. This is your sign to have faith. So you need to kind of connect and reconnect with yourself immediately and see what was on your mind, and why do you think that this message is so important to you to have faith. Okay? Okie dokie, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Leonis. My gorgeous Leos, I love you so much as well. You know what? It's the actual things are going to start changing for you. Things are going to start moving on for you. And whether you realize this or not, this week is most certainly going to open your eyes, because things are going to go from number 1 to number 101, seriously, in the space of like a 1 week. And this is important because there is a lot of like kind of the energy is drained out of you lately, quite a lot. And when the energy is drained, it means that you have been through quite a lot. It means that you have been dealing through a lot. It means that your life was affected in such a way where it was like really affected, and it affected you so much that it's actually affected your way of thinking. It kind of brought you down. It affected you on so many different levels because you've been through quite a lot, but it also reflected on your own health as well. So this is an important week, my gorgeous Leonis, just to kind of make sure that you are taking things that can kind of rejuvenate you, taking things that can kind of like boost your immune system, like something like organic acerola cherry powder, or like something like organic camu powder. These two powders are absolutely super big mamas when it comes to actually boosting your own immune system, because it's just so rich in vitamin C. I spoke about it like millions of times, so I'm sure if you're watching my channel, you're actually aware of it. So it's something something that is going to boost your energy levels as well, alongside like a natural B vitamin complex. This is also going to be something that is going to be remarkable because it's going to boost your energy levels. It's going to be beneficial for your digestion and beneficial for your entire like nervous system as well. Good for so many things. And this is the combination of two supplements that I would love you to take, my gorgeous Leonis, indeed. And I'll have to say it, like if you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. Now, moving on for this, I'm saying this, look, you know, you can think, oh my God, why is he talking about like a nutrition and things like that? Do you know, because it's important when it comes to you. And this is why sometimes, you know, people don't realize when we go through something very difficult, it doesn't only affect our spirit, but it affects our body, because this body is just a body that we are using while we're on this earth. And then after this time, we just move on, we go somewhere else. But this is your little temple, you know, you just have to take care of it. So it's important. So if something is like sticking out, or if something is not quite right, then you need to repair it, you need to patch it. And this is why this is so important, my gorgeous Leonie, for me to say and explain this to you. Another big mama moment which is coming now is just to basically, you know, just remember this, that after the storm, the sunshine is coming. An enlightening moment. You've already kind of have been through something quite significant not that long ago, where you realize, you know, your own kind of winning. You realize your own path. You realize the importance of you doing things in this life that only make sense to you. And this is all catching up with you in the best possible way when it comes to the moment of the actual karma and the karmic reward. What I really like is that for the first time in a long time, you, my gorgeous Leonis, are going to become aware of this really kind of incredible energy, and it's going to refresh you, it's going to re-energize you on so many different levels, but really mentally and physically there is going to be a very strong connection. Although, as I mentioned, the certain supplements to take, most certainly you should, but this is more going to reflect on your mind, and you are going to find yourself just out of the blue like a big moment on the certain path this week, and it's gonna surprise you like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Leonis, indeed, because that particular path, it's all about you finding yourself there without too much planning. You were thinking about this, you were focusing on, but you just did not think that it's going to take place already. So this is absolutely brilliant. So there is the certain spiritual shortcut that is actually going to take place, and this is something that I really like, because you are gonna find yourself on the certain path. Just pay attention to the actual opportunity, because that opportunity that you are going to have, it's gonna change your life in so many different ways. You just need to understand one step at a time, indeed, but most importantly, it's follow your own intuition, because it's not going to yet again lead you astray. This opportunity that you are going to have, it's going to have so many unlimited possibilities, but you're not going to become aware of it straight away. You're only going to become aware of all this unlimited possibility once you jump in the water and once you start swimming. So this is what's important, because it's going to require from you to make the necessary step towards the unknown in order to reach the subconscious and conscious level, to the actual very high impact, you know, very high part of your life, which is going to make a huge impact. But most certainly it's about you making an important step into the unknown and believing, trusting and having faith that things are actually going to be fine. And most certainly they are, because, you know, it's about you finally, you know, by the time you get to this week, you're gonna by the time you get to the end of this week, it's all about the actual, you know, big change, big moment, big like ooh la la vision that you're gonna have. And this is so important, because you've been ignoring some aspect of your life that is so important to you. But then again, it requires from you to trust yourself and to listen to yourself and to like kind of like just to do things that things make sense to you, because this is pretty much so to do with you, your lifestyle, the certain changes, like the very big aspects of your life that are actually going to change later on from this moment onwards. But you just have to be honest with yourself, because it's the change that you wanted to make and do for such a long time, but you just keep on waiting for the right moment. You keep on waiting for the right time. So now you will see it's the right moment. Now you will see it's the right time. I like it, because it is just a reflection of the negativity, and maybe, like, I'm not saying that you were depressed, but just a little bit of sadness that you felt, my gorgeous Leonis, in particular when it comes to you see this new beginning, in particular when it comes to like you wanting to move on with your life. You find yourself like being stuck a little bit, and you're Leonis, you need to kind of move on. You go with the wonderful flow. You're all about passion, you're all about being passionate and moving on. You're all about the energy, you're all about confidence, you're all about self-esteem. So you're naturally free-flowing, but then at the same time, if you get affected a little bit, you don't like it at all, which is absolutely completely understandable, because it just kind of like affects your energy. So it's pretty much so to do with the new beginning. You see this, the new beginning is, my gorgeous Leon, is now more important than ever. Okay, so it's the path of your life, part of your life, or path of your life. This is so important, because this is not something out of the blue. This is something that you've been thinking about before, but you are just kind of keep on like waiting for the right moment. So it's pretty much so to do with the new beginning indeed. So now I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Leonis. Okay. What is going to be a tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Leonis? Now, oh my lord, you see how cute is this 8 of Cups. You see, this is so important. It's all about you. Yet again, it's all about you, realizing how beautiful you are, realizing how special you are, realizing how unique you are. This is all going to make your energy so powerful. You are going to find yourself like loving yourself this week. You will find yourself like wanting to take care of yourself this week. You will find like you want to kind of work on yourself this week. You will find like you want to make a kind of reward yourself this week. Whatever comes to you this week, like in a sense of like you want to do something for yourself. You want to do something to yourself. You want to reward yourself. You should most certainly do it, because it's going to be very strong connection with your subconscious mind. But at the same time, big moment. Massive moment, huge moment of discontinuation. Something is going to come to an end, my gorgeous Leonis. This is very important. Something is going to come to an end. And this is so significant, because it's going to bring the biggest moment when it comes to your own rebirth in your life. This is important. So it's about the discontinuance, You just need to kind of trust yourself, because something is going to slowly come to an end. Time to move on. Time to head towards the new direction. Pretty much so this is going to change your life, but at the same time it's going to require from you to respond. The quicker you respond, the better it's going to be. And this response can only even come just like in a form of like a maybe just thinking about it and making the certain decision. But it's most certainly going to lead towards your own personal rebirth. It's going to lead towards you doing the right thing. It's going to lead towards your own personal development very deeply, very spiritually when it comes to your own spiritual journey. So this is most certainly something that is going to make a huge impact on your life. So don't forget about this. And it's so beautifully connected to everything that I've actually said so far. So pay attention to what part of your life just really it's coming to an end. But it's up to you when you're going to take those spiritual scissors and just cut it out of your life. Important, because at the same time it's going to lead towards the really powerful development, your own personal development, the path you should go towards, things that you should follow, things that you should pay attention to. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, and I'm just gonna see also, oh gosh, what is going to, you see, it's going to bring you so much peace. You know, it's pretty much so to do with so much chaos that was like lately, and uncertainty, and maybe you're doing things that you don't want to do, maybe you're doing things that just slowly came to an end. So it's all about a peace and healing in your life. It is important for your energy, it is important for your vibration, because you have been through so much. Wait just a second, I had a tarot card that is dropped. It's not a tarot card, it's an oracle card. Do you know what fell on the floor? Adventure, adventure. There's a little adventure you're also going to have, my gorgeous Leonis, you know, and that adventure is going to be so connected to you, wanting to even more cut out a certain part of your life and move on with your life as well. So you see, nothing happens just like, you know, because it happens. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Virgolini. My gorgeous Virgo, I love you so much, my gorgeous Virgolini. You know, it is just, oh my lord, it's like the big week, you know, it's a big week, you know, it's just whatever, for whatever reason you felt like you maybe weren't as successful, this is pretty much so you wanting to reach the certain level, you know, the certain part of your life, you know, working on a certain part of your life, but it just affected you so much because you couldn't move backwards or forward, you know, left or right as well. It's just kind of left you in a certain kind of situation where you know that you need to keep going, but then you just kind of lost your own sense of direction. You've lost your own sense of direction a little bit, my gorgeous Virgolinis, purely because it's nothing even do with you, but because there were so many other things that were happening in your life that affected you in such a way, so you just kind of just carried on a certain path, you carried on a certain journey, but then again at the same time, you know, there is this unhappiness that it's just kind of like it's been coming out of you, because, and this is purely because you're reaching an important moment when it comes to your own enlightenment, and you're just going to have to be simply honest with yourself. You're going to need to be very honest with yourself, because if you're not going to be able to move on. Not that you're not going to be able to move on never, but it's just now, it's just going to kind of slow you down, because you are going to have a huge kind of moment this week, and that moment that you're going to have, it's going to happen at the time when you're going to worry a little bit, you know, you're going to worry a little bit about a certain loss, you know, particularly when it comes to the finances, financial situation. I'm not saying that you're having a problems with finances and financial situation, but I'm just saying it's going to happen at around the time. And you know, it's just basically, so this is the time when, you know, you're going to kind of worry about a certain loss, and I just want you to understand it's going to be absolutely fine. Don't worry, because this is just a temporary, and you are going to move on from this. In fact, you know, like a couple of days later, you are going to kind of have a very, very important recovery from this, so it doesn't really matter. And especially if you see numbers 777, and especially if you see numbers 999, oh my god, this is going to kind of show you and make you aware of the fact that there is going to be a really magical experience. Sorry, this numbers 111 and 222 as well. Sorry, if you see any combination of these numbers when it comes to synchronicity, you will need to be aware that there is a very powerful magical experience, magical moment that is going to be followed. By the same time, you also need to pay attention to what was on your mind, because there is going to be huge kind of crazy, ridiculously powerful confirmation that you're going to have with an aspect of your life that you're not going to believe. You're not going to be able to believe that it's happening, that it's unfolding, that it's happening, that it's just kind of manifesting, but it's actually going to be brilliant, and it's at the same time really beautifully going to place you on the path, on a very important path when it comes to your own spiritual journey. And what is the most important about this? Your own awareness, realization, but also, my baby, realizing that you are halfway through, you know, so you are going to benefit from the actual spiritual shortcut at the same time. It's about the vision that you are going to have, and also removing yourself from the situation that, you know, is just kind of dominating your life in such a negative way, dominating your life in such a kind of a way where you just kind of like found yourself like kind of maybe not even kind of like not thinking for yourself, and maybe you just kind of find yourself like kind of out of your own balance. So this is all about you returning into your own balance. You know, it could be like the specific person caused this, specific people caused this, just draining your energy around you. So now it's important to just kind of return into your own balance. It's gonna be kind of a very much so powerful situation that you're gonna also become a part of when it comes to like kind of doing something that you need to do so much in a form of the actual adventure. It's like a visit the certain place, and it's about the connection and reconnection with certain people in your life. This is very, very important moment, because number eight as in a time span is just going to play a really important and powerful role when it comes to this as well. So number 8, it's going to give you the answer when there is going to be taking place some very important connection and reconnection in your life. And once that happens, you know, it's to do with you realizing when this reconnection is going to take place, but it's more about it. Once you find yourself on this path in your mind, this is going to answer your question as well. It's gonna, you know, it's very difficult to explain, but you're gonna be kind of reminded of something in your life. Maybe, you know, some while back how things in your life used to be, and that is just not going to be able to leave your energy. It's not going to be able to leave your dimension, but at the same time it's going to be like that last push that you are going to feel, and that last push, it's going to be remarkable, because it's going to require from you to be yourself, follow your intuition, put your foot down and trust yourself, have faith, and things are going to be absolutely fine. You're going to become aware of the very important, huge, massive, giant, big mama step that you're actually going to make this week. By the time you get to the end of this week, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you are going to become aware of the huge, massive change that you're actually going to take. This step is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. Oh my Lord, it's only going to be the beginning, you know. It's going to take like an additional 2 years. I know, where did I go now? But it's just such a complex this week, you know. It's going to be the beginning of a huge, massive step that you're going to make, but you have to listen to your intuition, because it's going to require certain changes around to actually be made. And these changes are going to be ultimate. These changes are going to be huge. These changes are going to be massive. So the bottom line is that this week, my gorgeous Virgolinis, you are going to become aware of the ultimate change in your life and the actual steps you will need to make in order to get there. So this is very, very important indeed. Okay, and also, my gorgeous Virgolinis, I'm just going to see what is going to be a tarot card for this week, which important tarot card you're actually going to have. Knight of Pentacles, like surprise, surprise. You see, now finally you are going to be facing very important situation in your life, and very important solution is going to come up. You know, the problem that was really slowing you down, the problem that was affecting you, the problem that really kind of affected your finances, that affected your future, that affected your planning. You know, there is a really important sense of direction that you're actually going to have. The certain specific person in your life is going to play an important, massive, giant role indeed, because they are going to help you. Through the actual certain person, you're going to open your eyes even more. You're going to be able to see even further, which means that you are already aware of the certain things in your life. But now this specific person is actually going to be playing an important role when it comes to using things even further. So you are going to get hold of a very, very powerful and important information at the same time. This is going to affect your balance in the best possible way, but then again, at the same time, it's going to help you to do the best possible thing. Look at this 10 of Pentacles. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. I'm not being funny, but if there is any week that I have seen when it comes to you, my gorgeous Virgolini, that is going to be so important and so powerful, most certainly it's going to be this week indeed, purely because there is just so much that is going to start making sense that didn't make sense before. But it's also finding yourself, like, you know, realizing and having this realization how far you have come, like what everything you have done so far. I'm not saying that you didn't realize before, but I'm just saying that the energy is just just going to be absolutely perfect now. So you will be able to connect that much more, that much further. So you are going to make like an absolutely one of the hugest, biggest changes in your life when it comes to making an important decision. This is when it comes to your future, when it comes to like this very powerful perspective, but also the beginning of the changes that you're going to need to slowly start making, because after this week you're going to change your mind. You're going to start drifting towards the slightly different direction, almost like you're going to leave this a little bit over there, but then again at the same time you're just going to push towards that way, because you will know this is the right way. You will know that you are born to do something, born to be somewhere. You know, it's just like a very, very strong elements that you're going to feel, purely because it's about to change your life. It's about to kind of like, this is to do with your home, it's to do with making an important decision, it's to do with like moving on, it's to do with like you kind of finally having this very powerful vibration and inspiration when it comes to planning and when it comes to future. This is going to be remarkable and enormous in so many different ways, my gorgeous Virgolinis. I really need you to understand. And also at the same time, it's just, look at this oracle card. It's about the actual what you were born to do, but it's not only what you were born to do, it's where you belong, where you belong, where your heart belongs, what you should do, where you should be, what do you feel like. It's just almost like, oh my God, you know, it's the moment like that. We are like on this earth like 5 minutes, literally, you know. Our spirit is eternal, seriously, and we are on this earth in such a short amount of time. So as soon as you realize this, this is going to make sense like nothing else before. What you are meant to do, where your heart belongs, where you belong, you should follow. This is going to start the process of unfoldment, my gorgeous Virgolinis, and most certainly it's going to start like, you see this like an adventure, very powerful adventure. You see, your life is going to start feeling like an adventure, but you just have to start, you just need to give credit to yourself. You're going to become aware of the situation and people that you should become aware of, but at the same time, you know, you will just know exactly what to do, who to avoid, and who to come forward to, you know. But this is very, very important now. This week it's going to bring you a massive impact and also peace into your life. And this peace that I'm talking about is pretty much so to do with the healing energy, and also most importantly hope. Very, very important, my gorgeous Virgolinis, indeed. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Libra. So my gorgeous Libra, you see, like this is just pretty much so, it's like you just kind of like also very similar, you know. Not very similar, but I'm seeing this like kind of moving on. I'm seeing this like kind of abandonment, you know, and it's just pretty much so to do with like a, you know, part of your life that you felt so passionate around, but it slowly came to an end. And you know, you just need to be honest with yourself what this is, you know. You need to be honest with yourself, and this is the best way to actually follow this through, the most important way indeed. But I'm just saying that, you know, over the last like about 9 months in particular, it's almost like the part of your life that made you feel so excited and happy. It's just like now basically draining your energy, and it happens, you know, until we realize that that specific part of our life slowly came to an end. But it's also to do with something that we are so passionate about, something that we passionately like doing. But then again, it doesn't mean that if this comes to an end and you need to kind of move on from this, like, oh my God, it's just the life is finished, the life is over. No, baby, no, because it's all about you realizing that this slowly kind of came to an end, and it's just now really just draining your energy. And in fact, it was draining your energy like within the last 9 months. It doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I want to change this completely, cut it out. No, baby, no. It could be like literally cutting something out of your life, abandoning some part of your life completely, changing your life, okay, making certain changes, you see, making kind of like and also like kind of thinking what new you could bring into it. Like for example, maybe you're working like a teacher, for example. Maybe you're working like a teacher for a long time and you're really passionate working like a teacher, and for example, you see, but you don't want to finish, you just want to do this, you really like it. So this is the part of your life, this is the aspect that you pay attention to, because you've just felt like for such a long time, like in 9 months, oh, you're not too sure, I don't know, you love doing it, you're passionate about it, but you just know that something is not quite right, or you just don't like it, but you still want to be a teacher, for example. So in these cases, in these situations, it means that you just need to see what next step you can do in order to change this, what kind of promotion you could basically have, what else you could learn in order to kind of go to the next step, go to the next level, or maybe change the position. Not the position, maybe change the position, maybe, if that makes sense, or change like the actual place of work, change the area. It really depends on your personal situation, but most importantly, the specific part of your life is slowly reaching the full circle, and it's on you to realize that this is actually happening. It's important because it's at the same time going to help you to reconnect with yourself, but it's also going to open your eyes, and you're going to become aware of the actual, at the same time, how much this actually affected your balance in your own commitments, you see. So this is what it happens when you kind of spiritually and karmically, you come to the end of the certain specific journey. So it just requires from you to go on the next step. It's very important for you to understand this. So whether this is something that you're just going to like kind of bring in new things, or you're going to just change the area, you're going to change the direction, you're just going to change the complete things. This is entirely up to you, and it's down to your spiritual journey and where you are at the moment. But you need to understand that it's now important and more important than ever to ignore the negativity, to ignore people and situations and places in your life that are draining your energy, because that is most certainly something that it's not going to be beneficial for you, because there is a lot of like maybe a negativity going on around you when it comes to like the actual people draining energy and having this specific energy around them. It depends why this happens, but it does happen every now and then. So it's something that you should most certainly avoid if you possibly can. Avoid people who drain your energy, and also at the same time avoid people who are like a very kind of who have a questionable motives and things like that in your life. But on another hand, it's all about you basically moving on with your life. And also, when I said imbalance in commitments, this also happens when it's draining your energy. So you need to become aware, my gorgeous Libra, exactly what part of your life is this. It's very, very important, and you are going to have a quite interesting sign as well. And the sign that you are going to have, it's most certainly going to come in the form of, the first of all, it's going to be like some kind of information, news that is going to be personal to your message, and that in itself is just going to have its very important beginning stage when it comes to all this, because it's just going to help you to reconnect with like a lost part of yourself as well, which is going to on another hand play another huge giant role, my gorgeous Libra. So this is something that I need you to pay attention to, because at the same time it's about the beginning of like kind of like very important adventure that you are going to have by the end of this week. You can also expect you are gonna find yourself being part of the situation that you did not plan, and this is when things are going to become very interesting, and this in itself is going to take place within the last 3 days, I would say, and it's most certainly going to become like an adventure when you least expected. You have to be optimistic, you have to be positive, you have to think about yourself, you have to think about things that make sense to you only. And this is something that you will take, and this is something that the wiseness and knowledge, something is not going to make sense, and this is where your wiseness and knowledge and the huge, massive, enormous, deep wisdom within, it's something that you should follow, something that you should listen to, something that you should pay attention to, because it's all going to be connected and reconnected yet again, because you are going to have a specific flashbacks from the past, and it's important to pay attention to these specific flashbacks from the past, because every single one. You're going to suddenly think about this person, you're suddenly going to think about that person, another person. You know, you should not ignore it. It's something that you should follow through, something that you should see, because every single time there is going to be the hidden little message, the hidden little meaning that you are going to have. But going back to the actual beginning of an adventure, this is going to be the situation that you're going to become a part of, and you know, the idea, you're going to have an idea here, you know, and this is going to really kind of open your eyes. It's going to refresh you. It's going to make you feel so much better, you know. It's going to bring you powerful, big, strong initiative. So whatever is going on this week, it doesn't even matter, because by the time you get to the end of this week, it's about this adventure that you are going to have, but also about the initiative, you know, and it's pretty much so to start doing something new as well. At the same time, start doing something new where you're going to recognize unlimited possibilities, but also like a really brilliant obsession, like a positive obsession. And when we feel like a positive obsession, I know it sounds weird, but it's like if we are like kind of connected so much to the specific part of our lives and we can't stop thinking about it, this is a very powerful sign that you should actually follow through. This is a very powerful sign that it's also going to bring you so much courage into your life. And on another hand, one more thing, my gorgeous Libra, you are going to have a moment of the, you know, some kind of a justice, and this is going to mean to you so much, this justice, because you, my gorgeous Libra, you're all about that particular balance. So something is going to kind of like a certain information is going to come to you, and it's not even to do with you necessarily, but it's just going to help you to understand things even more for what they are. And that is also going to make a huge, massive impact when it comes to your planning, my gorgeous Libra. Indeed, you see this 9 of Wands here, my gorgeous Libra. Now this is important because at the same time you're just basically going to have a very significant message here. This is all about you moving on with your life. It's all about you thinking about exactly what you need to do when it comes to your future. Let me tell you something, that you are going to be super wise this week. This means that you are going to be super wise this week, and somehow suddenly you're going to start understanding things that you didn't understand before. And this is going to be kind of like a huge, massive, enormous, like, oh my Lord, eye-opener indeed, because that is going to play an integral part of your spiritual journey and your life, because there are specific changes that you will want to make. There are specific things that you will want to do that you didn't want to do before, but it's pretty much so to do with your future, that you are like just kind of going to start, you're going to kind of change your planning a little bit, you see. And it's also going to be the right thing to do. Look at this, look at this, look at this. You're about to break through, okay? You will realize something so big, and that in itself is going to change everything. Not almost immediately, but when it comes to your future, when it comes to your planning, you know, there's a massive, big, huge, big mama perspective about to walk in. And once that happens, you know, you will not see things the way you saw them before. The things are going to be completely different, but most certainly it's going to have enlightening effect and impact on you, because it's going to help you to do the right thing and to make the necessary adjustment when it comes to your future. And your intuition, your mind, your third psychic eye, this is all going to play a giant, enormous role. You know, on another hand, you know, there is a little lie that you're going to become aware. A little lie you're going to become aware, and it's, first of all, it's going to seem like a little lie. But then again, as the time goes by, it's going to kind of, more it's going to come out of it, and more it's going to come out of it, and more it's going to come out of it. And this is all going to be contributing, this is all going to be like kind of part of these contributing factors when it comes to you, just really kind of like making the necessary edits when it comes to your future, but in the best possible way. The harmony is going to be absolutely perfect, which means that there is going to be the certain dream that you are going to have. And also, on another hand, we are the nature. We are the nature. So if you want more to find out and connect and reconnect with yourself, I know it sounds weird, but please try to kind of connect with the nature, because we are the nature. The nature has got an amazing, absolutely mind-blowing impact and influence on us. And if you find yourself being confused and doubting something and not being certain, because something big is going to happen, you know, and then if you need more answers, all you need to do is just go into the nature, become part of the forest, be in the forest for a little while. Maybe things are not going to come to you straight away, but it does have like such a powerful sacred impact on us, because it brings the best out of us. It re-energizes us, it refreshes us. It kind of like a really have got such a powerful impact on our own like spirituality and psychic energy. But above all, things are going to come to you. You know, all you need to do is just go in the forest and be in the forest for a little while, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, it doesn't matter. It's going to have a massive impact on your life, because something is going to come to you, especially if you're confused and you're not too sure what to do. That's why I have this card out, my gorgeous Libra. And also on another hand, you see, because it's pretty much so to do with a new beginning. You see, just remember that this week, you're going to find being very, very drawn towards this new beginning that I was talking about. This is so important, because it's about enthusiasm, and it's going to happen at around the time when you have that little adventure. So this is something that you should really pay attention to. And what this adventure is going to be, it's just basically you're going to find yourself doing something that you didn't really think that you're going to do, and you're going to love it. And this is something that is going to trigger something very important within. And this is why this is going to become like a very kind of important moment of your own kind of like a powerful intuition. But there's just so much more that is going to be next to it, like there is no tomorrow. Okay, now, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Scorpione. My gorgeous Scorpione, I love you so much. Do you know what? It's just basically, I really like this, because it looks like something is going to take place this week. Something is going to happen. And it's just going to come in such a powerful way when it comes to you having your own reward. You stuck to your own kind of feelings, to your own emotions, to your own intuition at some moment in time over the last 24 to 36 months. And this is so important, because you were kind of challenged, you were tested in so many different ways. You were challenge, but you stuck to your own path. And this, it's just about to bring you the most ultimate reward, where you have found yourself to go, maybe everybody goes that way, you go this way. You know, it's just that type of situation, and that caused a little bit of uncertainty, and that caused a little bit of like kind of like kind of doubting lots of things, and it made you kind of out of balance. So, you know, but you still kind of like were following your own path. Maybe this most likely probably don't make sense now, but you will see exactly what I mean, because now you are gonna become aware of an ultimate change this week. And you know how you're going to become aware of an ultimate change? You have to follow your intuition. I know. You have to follow your third psychic eye even more, even further. Then later on, you're going to have even bigger rewards, because now this is purely your own reward for following your own intuition. This is important, because it's boiling down to the point where you're going to see that very powerful aspect of your life, very important aspect of your life that you were dreaming about, that you wanted to happen, that you wanted to be part of your life, you know, that you were just like, you were connecting to so much, you wanted it to happen so much. It's like to do with a certain wish that you're going to become aware of, that this is about to come through, but it's only at the beginning stages. So you will see like, oh my Lord, only tiny little movement, but you will know that now everything is going to change in the best possible way. You just have to do you, and the more you do you, the more spiritual reward and recognition you're going to have. You're going to become aware of the ultimate change, and I really like it, because this is to do with part of your life that caused so much of the actual dissatisfaction, but especially over the last like 10 months, like there is no tomorrow. And also, you know, it affected it affected your planning, your future planning, without you even realizing this affected you so much. But now at this moment in time, this is all going to make sense. Future planning, you kind of like got stuck when it comes to that, purely because you had this fear of the actual unknown, my gorgeous Scorpione. So this is why this is so important, because it's going to have a spiritual flip-flop moment, and you are going to find yourself on a very strong and powerful path when it comes to the future, and when it comes to the future planning, when it comes to getting this perspective, this powerful perspective, but also the ability to understand and see things for what they are. That in itself is going to start the process of an unfoldment. You are indeed going to have a really interesting surprise, but most certainly by the end of the week, you are going to have a spiritual lotus moment. You know that I love lotus moment. You know that I love spiritual lotus moment so much, because the lotus come out of the mud, baby, goes through the water until it comes to the top, and now it's in the sun. It's so important for you to understand that, karmically you paid out so much for this. Karmically, your energy was like a very much so drained, over the last 24 months. So now all this draining energy that kind of made you feel uncertain and brought you so much fear of the unknown, and that affected you so much because you're very deep, you're very spiritual, and that in itself not only doesn't affect your own current time, but it just affects, most importantly, the actual future. And sometimes you don't realize how much this affects you until actually get to this moment, and all this energy shifts, and you will see this is going to be very, very important, because you will see how much you were kind of affected in the way when it comes to feeling that fear of the unknown, but at the same time being affected by this in such a way when you realize, oh wow, suddenly, there's so many kind of ideas that you are going to have. There is so many inspirations that you are going to have this week, and you should just do every single one of them, because each single inspiration that you pay attention to, that inspiration doesn't come out of just, oh yeah, inspiration. No, baby, no. It's happening at the end of a very important karmic cycle in your life. So these inspirations are at the same time going to be powerful signs for you that this is something that you should do. This is something that you should follow through. Okay, so this is how you read this. It's very, very important. So every single inspiration is going to be like, oh my Lord, something like really huge later on. And at the same time, you are going to benefit from the moment of the self-illumination. Oh my Lord, there is something going to happen, right? Whether you're going to see the certain flower, or you're going to be touching the certain plant, or maybe you will be admiring like a certain plants. My plants are real, by the way. Yeah, or you're going to be admiring like a certain plants and things like that. It doesn't really matter, but at that moment in time, you're just going to be drawn into something. Maybe you will be watching the certain pattern in the plant. There is going to be very strong connection with you and the actual plants. So these plants, and it could even be the tree, so which means that on another hand, that you are gonna, my God, I know you're gonna call me crazy now, but just if you go and hug the tree this week somewhere, that's gonna re-energize you, my Lord, like ridiculously. The tree is going to benefit from your hug, and you are going to benefit from the actual tree as well, because it's going to rejuvenate you so much. But at the same time, if you actually hug the tree, you are going to become aware of exactly which part of your life you should have a faith about, that you're uncertain, like something that is clicking out like, oh my God, but you're uncertain. So by hugging the tree and connecting like that with the tree, this is the realization that you are going to have. Whether you believe this or not, it's very important, because there is a nature here just confirming this oracle card yet again. But on another hand, there is going to be the actual moment where you're going to have that, when it comes to your own self-illumination, a bit of a little hermit moment, but then again, at the same time, it's going to be brilliant, because it's just going to point out to you, something is going to come to the surface in such a way what you're in self-denial about. You need to kind of do something when it comes to someone very specific and special in your life. They require some kind of help from you, but you need to kind of like recognize something very important about them, what you need to kind of like pay attention to. Very, very important indeed. Okay, so now my gorgeous Scorpione, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards. My gorgeous Scorpioni, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards and I'm going to see, oh la la, do you see this queen? I just love these tarot cards. You see this Queen of Wands, look at how gorgeous this is, my lord. Look at that, so beautiful. So you see this absolutely beautiful Queen of Wands. You see this, my gorgeous Scorpione. Listen, you gonna have your own spiritual awakening, your own weirdness. Your own uniqueness is your own power. You need to follow it through. Something very, very specific is going to become obvious to you this week. And at the same time, when that becomes obvious, not that long after that, you know, when I say something very specific is going to become obvious, it's to do with the situations around you, and it's nothing to do with you, and it's just like a little bit of confirmation, nothing to do with you necessarily, but it's the sign that not that long after that, it's like a little bit of a time span here that you're going to have. So you will know this is your sign that very soon after that, you're going to have a magical moment in time, and something is going to happen, something is going to go right through you, and it's just going to be like a really amazing spiritual electricity that you're actually going to have. And look, I just mentioned about the flowers, and you see this tarot card with the flower, incredible, incredible. But anyway, something, you know, you are going to actually very important part of you that you really kind of need to take on the next level. It's going to become obvious. You need to pay attention to this, because this is to do with your own essence. This is to do with who you are. This is to do with your work on this earth. This is to do with the balance of this earth, but it's to do with what your job is on this earth, how the way you need to evolve in a very powerful way. Some kind of very strange moment you're going to have through the actual spirit world as well. There is a very powerful sign that you're going to have at the same time, which you're going to find rather enchanting. You see this? It's going to be enchanting and enlightening in many, many different ways, because you will know exactly why you had certain difficulties when it comes to maybe launching new projects over the last 2 months. This is going to answer your question, but at the same time, it's going to remind you that there is a very specific and important part of your life that you need to pay attention to, and this is going to come to you as well at a time when you're doing something that you really like. Whether this is like at a time when you're doing something that you really like, this is when your energy is very magnetic, and you are sending kind of like a very kind of a magical vibrations to the universe, and in return you get like, my lord, so much back. So this is the time when this is going to happen, because suddenly you're going to become aware of exactly which part of your life you need to take on the next level, and it's going to surprise you indeed, but most certainly you will know exactly what to do, because it's the plan, it's the wiseness, it's the intuition, it's the power. It's all going to be playing an important role, and it's all about the actual plan that you are going to have, and it's all about the plan. So it's the first realization, you know, like why am I not doing this, why am I not doing this? It's like that, literally. But then it's not all going to happen like straight away, no baby, no. But it's about the actual plan. It's all about the plan that is going to take place, which is going to take you on the next, you know, level. But at the same time, it's going to help you, you know, with who you are. It's going to help you to spread your wings. It's going to help you to realize that powerful essence. We all have something very special and very specific about us that makes us different. This is exactly why this world is so beautiful and colorful, you know, because we just need to allow that to come out of ourselves. So this is something you can take on the next level, you know, and it's important because it's going to literally change your life, but it's also going to just kind of like make your life so much more interesting. You will see what is missing in your life, and I like this so much because it's just going to start that process of planning, my gorgeous Scorpione. So I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card. Divine timing. Oh, surprise, surprise. Divine timing. You see this? Absolutely. This doesn't surprise me. And it's also confirming this to me, that, you know, you are going to find yourself like doubting something. And what you're going to find yourself doubting, it's pretty much so to do with your future. It's to do with like things that confused you before. It's to do with maybe you ignoring certain things, but now just being completely honest with yourself, and also the realization that you've got a power, you see. And it's this to do with your future planning, it's to do with the finances, financial situation, and it's all going to make sense. Okay, very, very important indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Sagittarini, my gorgeous Sagittarius. I love you so much. Let me just check if these are your cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Dun, da, 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 da. It is you, my babies. So it's now my gorgeous Sagittarius. You know what? It's just, this is so important because, you know, on one hand, it's like you are gonna have a very kind of like an interesting message within the first couple of days this week, and this message is so important because this message is at the same time going to help you to recognize things for what they are, about the very specific situation in your life. You will know why you are stuck, you will know why you feel stuck, but at the same time you're going to become aware of the things that have been draining your energy like there is no tomorrow. What you thought is absolutely crazy and ludicrous, now you're going to realize that sometimes, you know, life takes just slightly different turns, not when it comes to your situation, but it's just about you remaining grounded. You know, it's all about you allowing yourself to remain grounded and allowing yourself to remain centered, and that in itself becomes your own ultimate power, because most certainly it's about you realizing something, but at the same time, you know, realizing what caused like so much uncertainty in your life, what made you like kind of like lose a little bit of confidence. I'm not saying that you lost your confidence, but you will see that this is to do with the specific part of your life that you have been focusing on so far. Bless your heart, something is going to come to you, and almost immediately there is going to be very, very interesting idea that you are going to have, and that idea is going to open your eyes, but it's going to show you what is missing in your life, but it's also going to kind of remind you why you're not doing it, why you're not going through, why you're not going forward. You have to allow yourself to be yourself, and the only way to allow yourself to be yourself is to follow your own intuition and to live your life the way you want to live your life, because it is going to become quite evident by the time you come to the midweek that you actually, what is really missing in your life, what the next step and next stage is going to be, without you even realizing what an impact this had on your life for so long. You know, over the last 24 months, you know, this really impacted your life in such a way where it kind of made you a little bit fearful when it comes to like making the necessary step when it comes to your future. But this is to do with your finances strictly, and it's to do with what you are doing now, and it's to do with what you are focusing on and where you felt stuck. You see, you just need to remember that you are powerful, you are very quirky, you're very unique, and you just need to give a credit to yourself. The more credit you give to yourself, my gorgeous Sagittarini, the more successful you're going to be. This is so important, and the energy is going to be so strong this week as well, which means that every now and then you're going to feel like, oh God, you know, like it's very dark, you know, it's like very slow, like it's uncertain, but at the same time that same energy is going to be the energy that is going to be primarily responsible for you sailing through this energy and realizing that that same energy is actually going to work in your favor. You have got the power this week in order to do this. The bottom line is that where you are at now, where you are at right now in your life, you're gonna move on, but you will see what was missing and move on in the best possible way when it comes to you making the right step, bringing something extra into what you're doing right now, because something is missing. So let's say you're like I don't know, a painter. So let's say you're painting beautiful pictures, you know, you're an artist, and then you're just doing this, you're doing that, and then suddenly, you know, You're painting pictures of Madonna, like Madonna, no, not a singer, but Madonna, you know, the spiritual Madonna. You know, it's like, it's you're painting the spiritual pictures, let's say, you know, and you're always painting these pictures, and then suddenly it just comes to you, wait a minute, I need to kind of change like a little bit. I need to put this, I need to put that, I need to add this, maybe I should paint a little forest behind. There is something that you're just going to become aware of, like it's missing in your life, and now the energy is going to be superb, the balance is going to be so unique, so important, and it's going to reflect on you so beautifully and so wonderfully. So, you know, it's just something that was missing. It's just going to become evident, and it's going to become obvious, and to each single one of you it's going to have something to do with something different, something specific. But then again, at the same time, you know, you will see how much lack of closure you had when it comes to your life, and how much this was affecting you, and you will see exactly what was missing in your life. On another hand, very important call you're going to have, or maybe an email, maybe a message, and this specific information, it's going to be mind-blowing, and it's not going to be like a huge massive success when it comes to your life, but then again, it's going to be very, very positive, and it's going to surprise you, and it's going to have a very interesting impact on other things, because it's going to give you an idea, and then almost immediately at that moment in time, the connection with the past and connection with somebody very special in your past is just something that's going to come to you, because yet again it's going to remind you of how things used to be. But then while you're kind of like benefiting from that vibration, there is something slowly going to start drifting into your life again, and that in itself is going to refresh your memory. Something from your past it's missing, and you need to bring it into your life. So what this is, it's going to become obvious now, more certainly, because this caused so much of uncertain outlook. You see, you will know what caused like pretty much so uncertain outlook in your life, but at the same time, you know, it's to do with your practicality, it's to do with your practical knowledge, and to give a credit to yourself, to give a credit to your own uniqueness, and to recognize what is the next level, what is the next thing that you need to do, what you need to bring into your life. There is going to be like a bit of a learning experience that you're going to find yourself reading about something, learning about something, and this is going to surprise you. But then again, at the same time, it's just going to motivate you even more. It's going to motivate you even further. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the week. Oh, you see, do you know what? I want to say something else, that by the end of the week, you are just going to have so many ideas, but above all, it's about the recognition, an important recognition that you are in for an ultimate change. But you have to give a credit to yourself and understand that things are going to take one step at a time. They're going to take a while, but it's going to be life-changing. It's going to be remarkable. This is the entry and the beginning of a very successful time in your life that is going to be very complex indeed, but it's an unfoldment, a powerful unfoldment towards the right direction. Okay, so this is something I need to tell you. So now also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you see this. I really like this. It is just about the more you put in towards things that you want to achieve, they're going to become big mamas this week. So you see, it's all about you sending energy towards. It's going to be magical week as long as you focus on things that you love doing. The more you do things that you love doing, the more expressive you're going to be, the more magical you're going to be, you see. So it's pretty much a very strong moment in time to pay attention to the actual things that you do, and things that you want to achieve, and things that you want to take on the next level. But at the same time, the balance is just absolutely perfect. This is not only going to kind of make things like kind of move on for you, but it's at the same time going to help you to come out of you. And there are other things that are going to make sense to you that didn't make sense to you before. But it's most certainly going to be all this part of an ultimate change. But at the same time, it's about the right balance. It's about communication. communicating, it's about talking, it's about opening up yourself as well. It's about like kind of like a being part of the team and maybe working with the people at the same time. This is rather important indeed. But most certainly, it's the more you kind of like pay attention to things that you should be paying attention when it comes to like expanding your lives and things that you do. As long as you do it this week, it's going to make you go really, really far, and I really like it. Just remember, this is the divine timing, and I need you to remember this. This is very important for you to remember, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. Okay, so now the next sign. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful, my mysterious Capricornius. My gorgeous Capricornius, you know what? You're going to have such a moment. Something is going to... I've got my moments. 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 I'm sorry. No, seriously, my gorgeous Capricornius, I love you so much, but something is going to come to you like in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know, like maybe you're gonna sleep, maybe you're gonna dream, and you're gonna wake up like, oh my God. Or maybe you're just gonna like kind of sleep, and before you go to sleep this week, something is just gonna kind of be, it's gonna blow you away. Something is gonna be like absolutely like, oh my God, like really kind of powerful realization. Or maybe you're gonna dream about it, or maybe you're just gonna wake up in the morning and there's this specific situation is going to be on your mind. And it's just like about like a crazy realization, and you're gonna kind of really change your mind about something. But this is nothing to do with your life necessarily, but it's to do with lots of other things that have happening around you. But it's about this crazy realization. It is not something that you're gonna like kind of be, oh yeah, whatever, like something that you're gonna kind of become aware of for the first time. But there is something else that is going to come to you, because you're gonna have a very wise week, very powerful week when it comes to your own kind of psychic feeling and psychic energy. Yet again, your third psychic eye, it's going to be working very brightly, and it's going to be connected to you very strongly. And this third psychic eye this week, it's going to reward you, my gorgeous Capricornius, because something yet again crazy, ludicrous, mental, bizarre, and very strange, but nothing to do with you, it's gonna come to you. And then you're just gonna kind of start drifting into this, you know. And it's very interesting the way it's actually going to happen, because it happens when you're on your bed, you know what I mean? Not when you're making love to someone, not when you're making love to someone for sure, but it's just going to happen when you're on the bed, like sleeping, or when you're kind of relaxing, because you're drifting into your subconscious mind. You're expanding your energy, you're expanding your subconscious mind, you're expanding your power, your spiritual power, which in return kind of brings so much forward. So it's just all like about the actual time when you are kind of relaxing. You're part of all sorts of different dimensions, as you're aware of that, I'm sure. By the same time, it's just about you having your eyes open and realizing something really additional. And then this is going to help you so much, because although you were aware of certain crazy, ludicrous and mental things, but then at the same time, this little kind of spiritual drop that is just going to end up in your life, it's just going to refresh you so much. And it's just going to be that perfect little spiritual drop, perfect little drop of water, which is just going to revive you when you were wilted, you know, revive you when you were like kind of like you know, like really down, you know, revive you when you felt like completely dried out. You know, it's important that this little spiritual drop of water is going to change everything. I hope I'm making sense, but it means that where you kind of like a very much so got a long dark road. It's darker and darker and darker. Something that was worrying you so much, and something that was affecting you so much, and it became like a kind of dark road. Too dark for my liking, baby. But yeah, it became like a little bit of a dark road, you know, and then it can only go that much darker, and sometimes it becomes very dark, and sometimes we just kind of lose our way, like for a while, you know, until we come out. But until somebody inspires us and helps us out to light our own light within, you know. It's all to do with our own spiritual enlightenment, but giving credit to ourselves as well. So this is to do with things that have been worrying you, that have been affecting you on so many different levels, but then at the same time, now it's what you were aware of anyway, but now this little realization is just going to be absolutely remarkable, because it's more about what you should do, it's more about the next stage, it's more about the plan out of the situation that is becoming really kind of negative and scary, but also the realization that the power, you have got the power within, and once you reconnect and connect with that power of within, you become like a metal, you know, you become like an absolutely indestructible, and this is your moment, this is your power, because when you become sort of indestructible in your mind, nothing can touch you, especially you, my gorgeous Capricornius. Nothing can touch you, nothing can affect you, and this energy is just bursting out of you so much, and other people and other entities can feel this, and they just kind of, oh yeah, I'll stay away, you know, but in the best possible way. So this is something that is going to help you so much, because you're going to realize something, not only the way out of the very long and dark situation that affected you and maybe like a certain people around you, but at the same time, it is just going to become your guiding light. It is going to inspire you so much, and it's also going to kind of show you the way, exactly what you need to kind of do. You're going to become aware of, but also kind of which necessary steps you need to make. But all you need to do is just become aware of your own strength and power, which is exactly what you're going to do. This in itself is going to bring you a very strong perspective in your life when it comes to your future. There are certain adjustments that you're going to need to make, but at the same time you will know that you just need to be very smart, very clever. You need to play clever and be very, very smart, you know, because, you know, you're going to become also kind of like aware of the very strange, like kind of like things, you know, very strange little dark spiritual knots, and that is just going to help you to stay on top of things even more, even further. You will know exactly what to come out of with, but then again at the same time you will know what to do, what to keep in, you know. On another hand, there is a very interesting secret that you are going to become aware of, but I wouldn't kind of talk about this secret as of yet, as of now. It's just something that you should just really keep to yourself for this moment in time. Something that almost immediately you want to like, oh yeah, I'm going to say to this one, I'm going to say to that one, but I say no, baby, no. It's just something that you need to keep for yourself. This is more important than ever. And on another hand, my gorgeous Capricornius, I'm keep on saying this is so important. Someone in your life, because you see, you have a very strong connection with the people in your life. You know, this is a beautiful thing about Capricornius, my gorgeous people. You very much so. You're anything but selfish, really. You know, you have got a very strong relationship with the people in your life who meets you, they never forget you. And the people in your life, they stay people in your life. But somebody, for many different reasons, because of your beautiful and powerful energy, but someone in your life is going to need your help. Someone very close to you is they're doing something, that they're going off the path, and you need to step through. They're going off the path slightly, and it's important, my gorgeous Capricornius, more than ever for you to realize what this is. Someone in your life, very close to you, very important to you, is going off their path a little bit. This could be a family member, it could be a friend, but you just need to pay attention to, you know. You need to pay attention to who this person is, because you know something that is just going to change the whole thing. You know something that is going to kind of like set them free. You know something that is going to help them so much, and explain them things for what they are. So you just need to kind of pay attention to who this is and what this is, and also like maybe the certain addictions, you know, that someone around you that is like kind of starting to develop. And again, this is the right time for you to step through and send your healing energy towards. And I'm not blaming this person, again, because of this, because there's so many things that have been going on, and somebody seemed to maybe find a way out in a certain addiction. And I just want you to understand that now it's time for you to step forward, because your power will change this like drastically, dramatically, like almost immediately. So this is why this is so important. And if you haven't got anybody, like if you haven't got a family or you haven't got a friends, you know, then this means that, you know, through someone in your life who you look up to, someone who you watch, someone who you admire, you are gonna get something very important realization you will get. Okay, so this is for those who are not maybe having families, or you don't have friends. So somebody who inspires you, you're gonna get something so important through that person in the form of realization. And this is very shortly going to become an inspiration, and it's just going to show you exactly what to do and where to go when it comes to your practicality and when it comes to your practical knowledge as well. On another hand, you know, you are basically going to have a bit of like you know, maybe you were expecting the certain news or certain situation to kind of unfold in the way that you wanted, and you're going to be like, oh God, you know, it's just going to make you feel like a little bit sad. Just a little bit, please don't get me wrong, I'm being dark Lala again, but there is going to be the specific information not related to what I said now, so it doesn't become too confusing, but it's just a bit of like something that you have been waiting and expecting, but it's just going to kind of, oh no, break your heart, but not in a huge, massive, enormous way, but most certainly it's just about you at the same time. I really like this, because this is going to make you determined even more, okay? And that determination, it's going to take you out of the situation of the past that you no longer want to be part of, and it's something became demanded, you know, and you don't want to kind of, you want to move away from that. It's just like almost like maybe you know, maybe the certain person is asking you to do certain steps, you know, in your life, but you don't want to. Something is going to become very demanding, but this in itself is going to make you feel even determined to move on and to follow your path, follow your intuition, follow your bliss, because it is not going to lead you astray. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Capricornius. Oh, I'm on the top of the world. I am on the top of the world, on the top of the world, on the top of the world, on the top. You see this, my gorgeous Capricornius, what I like is that, you know, the balance is about to return, and you're just going to become part of something very specific, but not like being in that particular energy, not being in that particular spirituality, that spiritual bubble, but it's just all about you just realizing things for what they are, but then at the same time you seeing something, you're being inspired by something, you realizing an integral part of your spiritual journey, but then at the same time you will know exactly which steps you need to make. So first of all, it's you're gonna see something, an idea, but then again, somebody very important in your life, somebody who's like kind of you look up in your life, is just also kind of through the power and synchronicity, they are going to be in your mind, they are going to be part of your life, they are going to be part of your decision, but at the same time, you know, it's about them inspiring you in you as well, you know. So you're going to see something, but there's somebody in your life, it's going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow. So things that didn't make sense will make sense in order for you to get where you want to get, and you will know exactly what do you need to do. So this in itself is going to pretty much so help you realize the exact decision that you're going to make when it comes to that particular perspective which is about to walk into your life, which is about to manifest in your life. What you need to remember is to have patience, because what you're gonna see, the idea, the realization, the inspiration, but then again the certain person in your life is going to like kind of confirm certain things to you as well. At the same time, you just must not put yourself off by thinking, oh, I want this quick, I want this sooner. No baby, no. One step at a time. Patience is very, very important here. okay? One step at a time. These are the first steps that you're gonna make, and they're gonna come in the form of you thinking and realizing this, focusing on reading about and things like that. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Aquarius, my gorgeous aquamarini. Like, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's like you will see why you were affected, because the certain like kind of communication breakdown that you've had not that long ago over the last 4 months really affected you. The particular communication breakdown affected you. It is very important, and in the last 4 months this was very highlighted. Who this is, okay, which role which role this person is playing in your life. This person is somebody very important, somebody very significant to you, a powerful figure in your life, whether this is like a family member or whether this is like your partner. You know, this is important for you to work on because it affected you so much. The communication breakdown over the last 4 months with that particular person, it's about to kind of like have a very important impact on your life, because something is going to happen with that person, and that person is going to play an important role, because you know you're going to find out something, you're going to realize something. But this is going to be really great because it's going to inspire you and it's going to help you realize things for what they are. Most importantly, it's going to help you to realize specifically what part of your life you should move on. But in itself, this is going to be really good actually, because it's going to bring a whole new perspective in your life indeed, and it's actually going to become almost like the beginning of an adventure, you know, because you're going to feel very inspired to the point where you will want to make a huge massive change when it comes to your immediate environment, when it comes to your home, when it comes to your immediate environments. There is something that is still kind of unfinished. There is something that you should pay attention to. There is something that is unfinished, but it needs to finish, and that in itself is going to bring a very important level of the actual inspiration, which is on another hand going to connect you and reconnect you with things that you like to do, and there is a specific idea that you are going to have at the same time, my gorgeous aquamarine. And that particular idea that you are going to have, it's going to just really kind of like make you aware of an important negotiation that you're going to need to make. By the same time, you know, there is so much of the emotional confusion that is going to be clear along the way. So if that happened like about like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or months ago, you would be like, no baby, no. But now I'm talking about this moment in time when, you know, things are just going to happen at the right time, and then at the same time, as I said, you know, where you felt like a lack of closure, and you couldn't kind of like really focus towards the ultimate change, towards the big change in your life, because, you know, subconsciously this was affecting you so much in such a sense where you had a lack of closure. And what the lack of closure does, it just leaves like a spiritual holes on our path, and the spiritual holes are causing the energy drainage, and then that affects our way of thinking, affects our way of planning, you know, and just kind of like we just kind of get kind of slow down in the process, you know, and it affects us in many different ways. So this is most certainly going to bring a very important harmony on its own. And you know, also really big surprise by somebody. My god, my gorgeous aquamarini, you really do have these people in your life that are playing a very important role when it comes to your own inspiration. But somebody like a very kind of powerful figure in your life, maybe like a mature powerful figure in your life, whether this is somebody literally in your life or it's somebody who you look up to, that person is going to really surprise you, you know, and the surprise that they're gonna say something, and it's really kind of, first of all, it's not gonna make sense to you, but then again you're gonna become aware of the exactly like a kind of like why you didn't have a certain success, and also you're gonna become aware of that some kind of self-satisfaction that you kind of will become aware of. some kind of self-satisfaction, certain path that is going to bring you, self-satisfaction. So this is really, really important for you to pay attention to, because that person is going to play an important role when it comes to you feeling like a little bit depressed and a little bit negative, purely because maybe there was like some kind of feeling of the codependency when it comes to your life as well. So somebody's like kind of draining your energy, and somebody who you should pay attention to like there is no tomorrow. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, I'm just going to see what is going to be your tarot card of the week. Aquarius, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligned with Mars, then peace will guide all the planets, and Aquamarini, Aquamarini. Sorry, my gorgeous Aquamarini, but it's like a King of Pentacles here, like my lord, my lord, my lord. Now, this is like, this doesn't really surprise me, because somebody who is in your life, a positive figure, who is literally in your life. This is why I'm saying, my lord, it's important to understand that you are like a big part of the whole picture here to these people in your life, but equally they're important people when it comes to your life as well. Something made a noise, something made a noise, little spirit is here. Hannah, spirit of Hannah is here, my gorgeous Aquamarini. We've got a spirit of Hannah. Hannah is just saying that this is an important week, my gorgeous Aquamarini. There is a spirit of Hannah. Hannah had like a very interesting face, very feminine face, very like a longish face, something very, not longish, please don't get me wrong, but very like kind of, you know, like you've got a round, you've got like a short face, you've got a long face. So Hannah had a long face, and Hannah also kind of had like a very, very interesting hair, and she was very unique, she was very individual, she was like a very kind of like a very much so obvious wherever she went, whatever she did. Since an early stage, she was like, oh my god, very like kind of prominent figure wherever she was. There is something very artistic about her, but also like her chain or something very petite was here as well. So Hannah wants to let you know, my gorgeous Aquamarini, is the spirit right over here. She liked color of orange like this, so red and green. So Hannah just kind of want to let you know that this is the very important week, more important than you can possibly imagine, because you are about to revive yourself. It's about your passion, it's about your energy, but it's also about having the a right amount of confidence in order to be honest with yourself, because you are going to see something, you know, you're going to see things for what they are. You just need to be honest with yourself. You're very spiritual, you're very powerful, you're going to connect to this world on so many different levels. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your third psychic eye, my gorgeous Aquamarini. It's more important than ever, because if you don't, you're not gonna kind of like get the part of your life which you should be on. It's to do with your passion, and it's to do with the right things. You see, if you miss this opportunity, I'm not saying this is not going to happen, but I'm just saying that you're gonna have to wait for another kind of magical moment like this week it's actually going to bring. So you have to remember to trust your intuition now more than ever. You're gonna have to respond to something, some kind of situation, and the right way to respond to this situation is to be honest. You will want to say, oh no, it was like that. Maybe white little lies you will want to say, you know, but then you just need to be honest. Your honesty is the key. Your honesty is your power. Your honesty is your strength. Your honesty is what you should do. Primarily, you need to be honest with yourself, but also respond in an honest way, because if you don't, you're just going to dig yourself a little bit deeper into something, somewhere where you actually shouldn't be. So that's the gorgeous message from gorgeous Hannah. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, going back to tarot card. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah, which H, yeah, Hannah. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, there is someone, going back to this tarot card, someone very special in your life. It's going to be playing an enormous role here. Somebody is going to inspire you. This person, through this person, you will know what to do financially. When it comes to finances, when it comes to future, when it comes to future planning, this particular person is going to inspire you. This is somebody who is in your life, or somebody who maybe is in the spirit world right now. Maybe that person is in the spirit world. Whether you're gonna be inspired by them in your life, like maybe your dad, maybe your mom, maybe your sister, it's like, I see it as a male person, but then again, at the same time, it could be somebody like a very, very person with a very strong, like a lady with a strong energy, like, it doesn't really matter, but it's somebody who's going to inspire you, whether it's in this world or it's in a spirit world. Maybe in this world they will tell you something, or they will inspire you, or if it's in a spirit world, you're just going to think about them and then you will know exactly what to do. It's to do with your future planning when it comes to finances and doing the right thing. This is important when it comes to your personal security. So you're going to find yourself thinking about, oh my God, what should I do, and this and that, and then suddenly this person is going to come to your mind. My Lord, King of Pentacles, and look at this, Queen of Pentacles. My Lord, look at it, this is crazy. And it's going to help you to make the best possible decision, which is just going to lead towards a little, readjustment, but most certainly it's going to help you to make the best possible decision, because it's all about you acting on it. You're being quick, you're being sharp, and you're trusting to yourself, believing to yourself, because this is something that is going to be pretty much so important when it comes to your practical knowledge. By the same time, you're going to become aware of things that maybe you don't like doing, that you're going to have to kind of do, and this is a lot to do with your past, and it's a lot to do with kind of sorting certain problems out that are kind of left unfinished in the past. This is the week of an enchantment, so you are really going to have a quite important moment also this week, within the last couple of days, when it comes to the power of synchronicity. Pay attention to the number 222 and 111, because when you see these numbers 222 and 111, my Lord, on one hand, pay attention to what's on your mind, because this is an enchanting time, and it's also going to kind of, suddenly there is an idea that is going to be, when it comes to the blockage of energy, you will see it's all going to make sense. By the same time, you just need to again be kind of open to yourself, and also have patience. Don't block yourself down by thinking, oh no, it's going to take too long. No, baby, no. It's all about focusing on what is on your mind. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to do, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, Piscelini. My Lord, you know what, Piscelini, you are going to have enough this week. You suddenly, this is a very specific week, and it's a very special week, and it looks like you're going to really have enough of some kind of a blockage, the certain dimension that took over, and that dimension only took over and made everything kind of dark and negative, purely because maybe you just allowed the drainage of your own energy so far by maybe listening to someone who you kind of shouldn't kind of listen to, but it's nothing to do with me, but it's just nothing to do with me, and it's nothing to do with anybody who inspires you, because I hope that I'm inspiring you. I'm trying to help and to highlight things that are so important in this present moment, but also so important when it comes to past and our future as well. But I want you to understand that it's all about you kind of realizing how that somebody maybe you kind of trusted, maybe you were looking at someone and you kind of trusted to that person, some kind of energy took over above your own. Okay, so this is about the balance that I'm talking about, because this is where the draining of energy happens. Somebody else's energy took over, somebody very heavy, somebody very dark, somebody very negative, definitely not somebody who you look up to, but it's just somebody who you were listening, who you were watching, who you were following, maybe, but maybe it just got stuck at the back of your mind, but this negativity took over, and it kind of created this spiritual hole in your life. We just ended with a fake illusion, which was just draining your energy, and it was draining your own true self. It was draining your confidence out, it was draining your self-esteem. So now it's time to patch this up, to close it and say, bye-bye, darling, bye-bye, beast, bye-bye, beast. Yes, so you are going to have a moment of like, oh my God. And this is really going to surprise you. And it's all going to start with you finding yourself on a certain path, starting to wonder about certain things in life, starting to wonder about certain things that don't make sense whatsoever. And this is where you're already going to find yourself on this particular path, where you're going to start realizing things like there is no tomorrow. In particular, when you see numbers 333 repeating, when you see number 222 repeating, and number 444 repeating, any sets of these numbers, any combination of these numbers repeating at the same time, you need to understand that something is going to be revealed to you, in particular when it comes to the actual direction, in particular when it comes to the actual opportunity, and you are going to find yourself being really surprised how you feel connected to this particular part of your life. But most certainly you're going to feel very strongly about it. Indeed, what am I trying to say to you, my gorgeous Piscelini? That you will see exactly in which part of your life you've actually lost yourself over the last 24 months to the last 36 months, and this is going to be like hallelujah moment indeed. And within the first like 2 or 3 days, this is going to be playing an important role, you know, because it is going to really revive you in so many different ways, in such a sense where you're going to realize how important is to live this life the way. Look at this cute little kitty. Yeah, sorry. How important it is to live this life in your way. Don't let your energy to be stolen. Don't let your energy to be taken away. You need to give credit to yourself by following your own intuition, and this is the moment that I'm talking about. And you will see how much energy was actually drained as well at the same time. Now it's time to ignore the negativity. Now it's time to ignore darkness. This is where all this is going to boil into, my gorgeous Piscelini. And that in itself is going to revive you. It is going to re-energize you, but it's at the same time going to really kind of make you, bring you balance into your life, where you are going to feel very strong to make a decision where you were so indecisive about. And that decision is pretty much so the part of your life that made and create that part of life created so much of lack of direction because you didn't make this decision. And this decision, I repeat, is to do with your finances, it's to do with your future, it's to do with your future planning, it's to do with your career. If you are retired, it's to do with the next step, and it's to do with something at the back of your life, the part of your life that you're not kind of following through because you were prevented, that you were blocked by these negative energies, which they in return kind of left you in the middle of the pathway, like with so much fog that you couldn't find yourself anymore. So this is why this is so important, the first couple of days, my gorgeous Piscelini, because something is going to be revealed to you, and this is going to be mind-blowing because it's most certainly going to change your life forever. What I need you to understand, my gorgeous Piscelini, you also need to pay attention to the actual signs. Look at this. What is your sign going to reveal? And the sign that you are going to have, and it doesn't surprise me because you are really coming home to yourself. You're coming home to yourself. So what happens when you come home to yourself? You're like very spiritual. You're high vibrating on a very high level because you're doing what your spirit is meant to be doing, but you're also reconnecting with yourself. And you're reconnecting with your past, and you're reconnecting with things, how you know, with your past, how things used to be, and that helps you to level things out in this moment in time. And also, most importantly, it helps you to understand that you need to give a credit to yourself. This is your life, this is your spiritual journey, this is your spiritual path, and the more you understand this, the more powerful you become. You create this magnetic, like absolutely undestructible, non-destructible, undestructible, like a field around you that is impossible to kind of like hurt, it's impossible to affect, you see, as long as you're following your own path. Almost like you're gonna realize, oh my God, you know, I kind of like spent a year or a couple of years like being affected by this, being affected by that, but now you're gonna have a really kind of powerful moment of your own spiritual enlightenment, and you will know. You see this oracle card? Look at this. Adventure. Ooh, gosh. Adventure. Adventure, which is going to reflect on your kind of life so much. But what you need to remember, it's all about stepping through. It's all about like enthusiasm, initiative, and an important opportunity with unlimited possibilities that you're going to become aware of by the end of the week, you know, as a result of this. But also, sorry, at the same time, you need to understand that you are going to need to kind of stay committed to the task at hand. It is very, very important for you to understand, my gorgeous Piscelini. What do you like doing? What do you like doing to express yourself? What do you like doing when you feel alive? You see, all this you should do instead of just being stopped, blocked, and prevented to move on. This is important because this caused you even more to like have a lack of ambition. So you need to see where your energy was drained because maybe you were kind of paying attention to certain negativities around you that affected you on an emotional level. So now this is your home time. You know, you coming home to yourself. This is a very important moment in time. On another hand, you just need to understand what you like doing, what I just said. What would you like painting? Do you like drawing? Do you like are you like a teacher? Do you work in the shop? You know, it depends what you like doing. Do you like computers? You know, do you like writing? Whatever you love doing. My point is, you are going to be tested a little bit, indeed, where you kind of find yourself like kind of very difficult to concentrate. This is going to be a sign. When you do something that you love doing, for example, if you're a painter and you're painting and you find yourself like very difficult to concentrate, oh, I can't concentrate, you know, this is the sign for you to exactly pay attention to this and stay in this element, stay on this journey, because there is a mind-blowing, miraculously reward that you're actually going to have. Stay committed to the task at hand. So when you kind of when you feel like deflated, when you feel like you are lack of direction, when you feel like, oh, I don't know what to do, when you feel like, oh no, I can't carry on painting, for example, I don't feel like it, when you feel like this, just force yourself to go for it and just remember my words that there is going to be an important breakthrough that you are going to have. But this is the limit, this is your power, this is your essence that is testing very you before it gives you the actual award. It needs to get worse in order to get better. Now this is exactly what am I talking about. After the darkest like a shower, after the darkest rain, there is the most beautiful sunshine going to come out sooner or later. So this is your sooner or later moment in time. You just need to remember to stay committed to the task at hand, because there is going to be an amazing breakthrough that you are going to have. Something absolutely mind-blowing. It's actually going to happen, and it's going to reflect on your life so much. You're going to recognize, you're going to do something that is going to help you to be recognized when it comes to your own success. And this in itself is going to motivate you at the right moment, at the right time, and the missed opportunity from the past is going to nicely slide into your life, and it's going to become the opportunity yet again. It's going to give you the actual time to actually do it again, try to do it again. This is important because again, it made you feel so indecisive over the last 12 to 36 months. But on another hand, not only you're going to be recognized by this is going to play an important specific role in your life, but by the time you get to the end of the week, there is something else that you are going to recognize in your life that you should pay attention to like there is no tomorrow, because you know there is some kind of element from the past that is also going to be playing an important role when it comes to having a certain insight. It's more about the feelings and emotions that you're going to have. And that is also going to be playing an important role when it comes to you seeing things and realizing things for what they are. But most importantly, when it comes to you, and when it comes to you doing the right things in life, you know, and how important it is to follow your own path, you know, to follow your own journey and ignore as much as you can. Because my gorgeous Piscelini, this is a very spiritual week. Very spiritual, when you realize the actual power of your own essence, but also the actual vulnerability of your own essence. If you kind of let your energy to be drained by listening to too much negativity, can actually do just that. We are all on this world. We are all the spirits. We're all the universe, part of the universe. We're all different, but we are all yet the same. But then again, we're all different purely because we all have a different specific spiritual spiritual journeys, the more colorful we are with our own energies, the more powerful we are, the more bizarre we are, the more powerful we are. You just need to allow yourself to be yourself. You will see exactly what I mean. Okay, very, very important indeed. You see this? This is keep on happening. You see this? My Lord, I had to take one out. You see this, the devil. You see this. So you are going to become aware of the like a little bit of like a little bastard, you know. And this is not only one person, you know. This is to do with more than one person, you know. This is to do with maybe 2 people, 3 people, maybe a few more people, you know. It really depends. But there is maybe it's a group of people, but it's just a devilish. You're going to become aware of the devilish energy, of the devilish maybe person, you know, that you should pay attention to. But most certainly this is brilliant because it's going to open your eyes, and it's also going to redirect you to follow your own path, to follow your own passion. This is important, so important. So yeah, there you go, the devilish person and the devilish tarot card. It's actually going to be really important because at this moment in time, this is going to be playing an important role when it comes to you redirecting yourself and doing what you want to do, what you need to do, okay, in your life, what you feel like doing when it comes to your intuition. You see, it's important, and it's going to redirect you nicely from the actual tower. It's going to redirect you nicely, and it's also going to be pretty much so. It's going to save you. It's going to it's going to be playing an important role when it comes to you also protecting yourself from the actual situation that if you were ignoring this devilish person, these devilish people, then you're just going to end up in this tower situation. And this tower situation is going to have a quite negative impact on you, and it's going to happen when you least expect it, and it's going to have a really huge impact on your life, you see. So this is why this devilish person, it's yet again going to play an absolutely remarkable role, and this is going to happen in a way when you're going to become aware of the certain person that had a maybe negative impact on your life or a group of people, and that in itself it's going to impact you, have an impact on you to make an adjustment, the right adjustment, which is going to bring the greatest passion within you. That's the answer to you. It's follow your intuition, my baby, and you're not going to be led astray. And you're also going to protect yourself from the actual the tower situation, and which is going to lead towards you spreading your gorgeous wings, my gorgeous Pisces. You see this? It's all about the hope, it's all about the faith, it's all about the inspiration, it's all about an opportunity, it's all about bright prospects, it's all about you opening your eyes, it's all about you living again. My Lord, the last couple of days this week is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, like there is no tomorrow. You really need to pay attention to exactly the last couple of days this week, because you will know exactly there is something that's going to happen that is going to inspire you. It's going to bring you hope, but you're also going to be able to recognize very important bright prospect, very bright prospect, very bright, like a shining star indeed, my Lord, because it's going to change your life. It's going to start giving you wings, and once your wing grows, like my God, there is a fantastic mind-blowing transformation that you're actually going to have. Okay, and I'm just going to see what is going to be oracle card of the week, my gorgeous Pisces. Okay, patient, discernment, patient, you see, and also at the same time, do you know what, it's just basically like you just have to be, this is important, look, again, yet again, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You are going to be facing the situation, and half of you is going to be like, and you're going to need to kind of make a decision, and half of you is going to be like this, half of you is going to be like that. But you will know that you, your own essence, is going to be kind of telling you, guiding you very loudly. So you need to be honest with yourself. This is an important time, more important than ever. You see this? Listening. You're going to hear something, and you're almost not going to believe it. You have to listen. Remember this, Pisces. You're going to hear something this week. You're not going to believe it. You have to listen. Okay? Important. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love you all so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Mwah.